On today's episode of the Box2Box podcast, the guys go into in depth about the Manchester United squad and decide what they feel like, whether who should go and who should stay. They also look into the new manager role that possibly could be going in and some new transfers that could be coming in this summer. On to the podcast we go. Alright, hello, and welcome to a special episode of the Box2Box podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Manchester United squad and who we think, as in me and the two other people in the call, think should stay and should go this transfer window. On the special episode, we have Rez as normal. How you doing, mate?
Too bad. I feel like shit though today. I had my booster yesterday, and I don't feel great at all.
That's what it is, mate. Stay away from it.
I've been asleep for about 5 hours during the day.
Jesus. And also we have Amir. He's come back from the last special. How you doing, mate?
I can't even remember how far into the season we were.
I want to say start of November.
Yeah, it wasn't
somewhere around November.
Ollie got sacked or after?
I think it was before Ollie got sacked because we were still giving you the jokes and you were saying,
"Yeah, it was."
So the way we're going to do this, we've got a go and a stay pile. I've got all the players that are lined up from the squad. We'll call out a player's name, then we'll put him into the goal or stay. I'll put him into a random pile to start off with, and then we'll discuss him, and then we'll have one final list right at the very end. You guys good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, where's good? Yeah, all right, sound. So we'll start with the wall, David De Gea. I'll go. I put him in stay, but you guys, what do you think? Do you reckon we should keep him, or do you reckon he's going?
No, I can't see any reason why we'd get rid of him.
Personally.
Yeah, I'd keep him, but no, we need to look at that situation because obviously football's changing a lot. He's a good shot stopper, but he doesn't come off his line, and his distribution is shit.
I was going to say that.
I think that's a lot of the reasons why we're so shit at building up play. But I wouldn't sell him now. But I'm just saying.
No, I'd keep him. I'd keep him if we are gonna go with Ten Hag and build a squad. You're not gonna get 15 players overnight, are you? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna have some people that are rare for a long time. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's the only one to start off. That's stay. So I think we can move on from David and go to Dean Henderson. I mean, my personal opinion, I'd put him in go. I feel like he wants to cause loads of. He seems like a bit of a sport brat. But what are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I think.
Go on.
For me,
for
me, there's two aspects to the Dean Henderson thing. One is for his own career. I think that he needs to go. But also, I completely understand what you're saying. He does have that. There's a lot of noises, right, from him about him not being happy. Is he good enough to be first choice goalkeeper for a top 6, 7, 8 side? I don't think so. So yeah, I'd agree with go personally.
Yeah.
What about you, Armin?
Yeah, I'd go because, like I say, I think it's more of the noise rather than anything else. It's because I've heard a lot of rumours that he was leaking a lot of the shit that was coming out of the club, like of the players being unhappy with Ollie and being unhappy with Ronaldo, and shit like that was coming out all the time.
Yeah,
apparently he was leaking it. So I'd let him go for that. I don't know. It's hard to judge him because when he came in, he done all right, but some of the goals he let in were a bit suspect. Like I remember the goal against Liverpool. Against Liverpool, he was like halfway across the goal when Salah scored. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. He was like halfway across the goal, and it's like, but he just obviously you don't know because he hasn't had enough game time to be judged like that. But yeah, I'd let him go, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't see him. I don't see much of a future for him at United, really. If he's going to start throwing his toys out the pram,
that's what I mean. You need to get rid of these players to rebuild that harmony in the squad.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So, anyway,
I think also as
Go
a
on.
second goalkeeper, I don't think you need someone who is
Spreading
as
shit.
good as. Well, it's not just that. It's as good as he thinks he is. I don't think you need someone like that. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
How often do you have to rely on your second goalkeeper?
I
Not
would have
very.
rather kept Romero, to be honest.
He's one of the
I
best
thought-
second
I thought
Romero
he
goalkeepers
was
in the
not-
league.
I thought it was class, Romero.
He was, but Romero was another one, wasn't he? You're making a lot of noises.
Only towards the end, though, because he was not playing at all.
True,
I think he got
but there
told-
was
I
also a
think he
lot
got
of
told he
noise.
was- Go on.
No, I say there was a lot of noise from outside as well, wasn't there? As in not Romero, but from other people involved in football, involved in the sport. Again, I know what you mean, but I just don't think you need. You think historically, United, when we've done really well, we've had a really, really, really good first choice goalkeeper. And then we had just a second choice. The best one I can think of is probably Raymond van der Hel. Like in
Yeah,
the
I was going to say
90s.
that.
He was a very, very good second choice goalkeeper. Otherwise, you look at like the likes of Massimo Taibbi, and I mean Mark Bosnich was technically Mark Bosnich was our first choice for a while.
Yeah, he came back. He had 2 stints at United, didn't he?
He
came
did,
back.
yeah. But yeah, I don't think you need a keeper as good as Dean Henderson as your second choice keeper because there's always
No,
going to
he
be
needs to
issues
be
like
first
this.
choice or nothing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we put him in the guy.
Oh,
Tom Heaton. Is he gonna stay? He's like 40, isn't he? It's like 50. He's like same age as my dad, still trying to start off United.
Well, to be honest, he's the kind of ideal, I think, for a second.
I'll put him in stay for a
Goalkeeper.
second, but yeah, go on.
So for me,
He's like that
if
third
we-
choice goalkeeper, and he's like that homegrown, just in the dressing room type, like Lee Grant was.
I don't even know what Lee
yeah.
Grant is anymore. I think he's just part of the coaching team now.
He's
He does the warm ups.
in the corner.
He just does the warm ups.
He's not going to chat shit. He's not going to cause issues. He's just going to get on with his job.
Yeah, he's just gonna turn in, do his job,
Yeah,
and go home again.
I'll
Ain't he,
keep him
really?
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll just keep him for that reason.
I think that's a simple one. We'll move on to the first of the defenders. I think I've done right backs then left back, centre backs then left back. So the first right back that's on the list is Diogo Dallow. I'll let you. Ahmed, do you want to go first, mate?
Yeah, I'd keep him. I think he's been solid. I don't think he's. It has to be first choice now because he's so much better going forward than Wan-Bissaka. But if we do get another right back in, he'd be a good backup. But I'd keep him because I don't know if we're going to get another right back. I know we've got Ethan Laird. I don't know if you know him, Ethan Laird on loan.
Yeah.
I think he's at Bournemouth now. He was at Swansea. He's at Bournemouth. He's decent, but he's obviously quite young.
Yeah.
But no, Dallow's solid. I think he's had a decent season. He's always had the odd mistake here and there, but the defence is shaky as it is. But I think I'd keep him definitely.
I think if you get a consistency of him and Varane stops getting injured, I think he could be quite good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The platform's always changing every week.
Yeah. Reza, what are you thinking? Stay or go?
He's a stay for me. I can't disagree with anything Amir said for a change.
As much as you're trying to, he's like, something's got to be in there.
Nah, he's decent. He's decent enough.
Yeah.
Is he Premier League title-winning squad good? No, but we know that. But he is at this
Squad
moment
maybe
in time.
though, isn't he?
He's
As a squad
Yeah,
player
quite
in a Premier
possibly.
League winning team, yeah, not as a starter, definitely not.
no,
Yeah,
But,
that's what I
as
mean.
as
of
a
right
squad.
now, yeah.
'Cause
As
he
of
can,
right now, he is our best the best right back. He is
because
in
he
my
can play
opinion.
left back as well, can't he? Like if you wanted him to do, if
can,
someone
yeah.
was injured, you could get him to do a job there. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
unbelievable, but you could still
It's
do
still
it.
got Brandon Williams on loan, isn't he? He's on loan. He's done
Yeah,
all right at
Norwich.
Norwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's yeah.
We'll get to him in a
He's
minute.
not-
He's
he's-
there. He's just after
Oh,
the tellers.
is he?
Yeah, I've got him in the list that way. We'll get to him afterwards. So if Dallow's staying, we'll go to the other right back, Wan-Bissaka. I mean, I'd put him there, but I don't think anyone will take him. Res, what do you think of this one?
don't know. In all honesty, I think that if he could be repurposed as a centre back, he might have something. But as a right back, no, he's a go. He just offers nothing. I said it before, right? When people were lauding him for these challenges that he was making, the only reason he was making the challenges was because he was so far out of position that he had to run back and make the challenge in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Like, the gap behind him was the size of the Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do know what you mean. I just don't know anyone that would actually take him back. I don't even think Palace would take him back now, even if we asked them.
I think he'd get a club. We wouldn't get back on money, or definitely not. I want to get fucking 25, 30 million from him at the most.
Newcastle.
I'd let him. Yeah, I'd let him go. I know he's still young, but I can't see him getting any better going forward. And like Red said, like defensively, like he's good at one-on-one tackles, but his reason he's always left in them positions because he's always out of position.
Yeah.
Like where I sit at the games is high up, so I can see the whole pitch, and you see it all the time. He's always too far forward or too close to the centre half. That's why. How many times did you see a ball go over the ball get crossed in, and at the far post there's always someone free.
Yeah, it's
So he's always too close.
Post as well.
Yeah, he's always too close to the centre half. It's like he's trying to mark the centre half.
To be fair, if it's Mcguire, I can understand why he's trying to do it. Really,
it is difficult, right? Because that is you do have to kind of throw in that caveat that there is Harry Maguire in that back four. He gets drawn towards the ball, right? He's one of those players who, and you see it all the time, right? We've all played football. You see it all the time where you're defending and the ball's coming in and you just get drawn to the ball like it's a fucking magnet and you don't give a shit about what's behind you. You completely ignore what's behind you. And actually that's really poor awareness. And as a Premier League level defender, that's shocking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's Sunday League stuff. Like you're getting dragged to the ball. You shouldn't, but not a Man United right back. Be able to smell danger. And I think he looked decent under Olive when he first came. A bit like Maguire because we were more of a counter-attacking team. So we were like 5 yards deeper rather than now we're trying to push up the pitch higher and then it just like leaves so many gaps. And I think that's why we see so many goals.
No, that's one of the reasons why. I mean, that's why I put him in go to start off with. But yeah, no. So yeah, go. We all agreeing go.
Yeah, I'll say go.
All right, sound then. So that does him. So we'll move on to Phil Jones, the beast. I genuinely think he's better than Maguire. Not bantering. I genuinely do think he's better than Maguire. Who wants to go first on Phil Jones?
I'll let Reg go.
Me?
Yeah.
Stay.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Well, mate, show us. Tell us.
We've got very few players in this fucking group of players, and I'm going to call it a group of players, so I'm not going to call it a squad, that actually understand what it means to play for Man United. There's very few players who are there when Fergie was there, who remembers the times, who would have played alongside the likes of your Ferdinands, your Vidic, your Ronaldos, your Rooneys, your Scholes, your Giggs. Yeah, there's very few players. And you can see in him that he's got the passion. He just wants to play. He's been through a lot. And when he's been given a chance, which is few and far between this season, he's actually done okay. He hasn't done anything really stupid. Listen, everyone takes a piss out of him. You see all the memes, the gurning and all of this shit, right? And he can and he does make mistakes. He does. As a defender, he's not fully developed, and he never will now because of his age. He's done. Basically, his career's done. Could he have been something special? Absolutely. Is he something special? No. But I think you need players like that around the club, at least for the time being, when we're looking at moving forward, new manager and everything, you need players like that to understand what it means.
I'm not
to
gonna lie,
play
mate.
for the
I
club.
genuinely believe he is better than Maguire. Genuinely, it's not like banter aside. I genuinely believe he's better than Maguire. Like even right now, like all you said about he's not developed fully, I still genuinely believe he's better than him.
It's hard to disagree.
So I can understand why you say stay. Unless Armir's going to go, I know he is.
No, I can't keep him, mate. He's been there too long, mate. I know where he's come from with Reza saying about we need players that have been there and done it. But it's just, how long has he been here? Like 10 years?
It was
11 years,
Fergie's last year we signed him, or second to last year.
I think it's second to last year.
2011, wasn't it?
And
I thought it was earlier.
He looked decent when he first came. He was like, oh, we've got a player here. And then, like, I think what fucked us, we let a lot of experienced players go under Moyes and under Van Gaal. Like Rio went, Evra went, Vidic went, and I think and then we just got left with Smalling and Jones. Like they were going to be our centre halves.
Yeah, they didn't get a time to learn from them.
Yeah,
give him a bit more, he could have been a lot better.
I just think it's. I ain't got anything against it. I just think it's
what I'm going to do...
We need to cleanse the fucking club.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick him in stay for now. And what we'll do once we've put everyone in stay and go, we'll then have another little chat to see if there's anyone we want to move around.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah? So I'll leave him in stay for now. So we'll move on to Mcguire. Very difficult one. I'm just trying to look to see when his contract's up for. 2025 his contract ends. So he's on he got a 4-year deal. Jesus, how has he got that 5-year deal?
This is what I mean.
Jesus, mate.
I think Phil Jones has still got a couple of years left as well.
He's 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Eric bye anyway. Armir, stay or go?
He's got to go as well, mate. This is what I mean. We've got too many of these players on big contract. I don't know what he's going. He must be on a big contract. He's got another 3 years on it. I reckon about 80 to 100 grand he's on.
He's 16 mil over 4 years. It says so 4 mil a year.
What's that? I don't think good at maths.
400k a month. He's on less than 100, isn't he? Less than 100k a week.
Oh, it's never fit. I like him. He's fucking. He can play well at times, but he's never fit. We just need to get rid of these players.
Yeah, it's very difficult because I still believe he's our best centre back if he's fully fit.
I don't know. Not since Varane's come.
But Varane's different. But he's the next best. But the problem is you can't hang your hat on him. You can't rely on someone that's constantly injured.
Yeah, he plays like 2-3 games and then he'd be out for a month. It's pointless. Like he's just got to get rid of these players. It's just he's got to free up these wages.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
We just go round in circles.
Reza?
He's a go. He's a liability.
Yeah.
Not just from an injury perspective, but playing. Every time he's on the pitch, sometimes
it does bring that mad.
There's an actual player in there. This is amazing. Oh, mate, maybe we've all got it wrong, and we've actually got a decent centre back. And then the next game he'll go and he'll disappear. I do feel for him. Do you remember the Newcastle game, 2018, October 2018? We were 2-0 down.
He got subbed.
And he got subbed after like 30 odd minutes by Jose.
Yeah.
And basically Jose completely threw him under the bus. So I do feel for him. He's had to deal with things like that. Obviously injuries as well, a massive part of what's happened. But Army, you say it all the time about intelligence. And he is just one of those players that lacks intelligence. He's too brash.
I think he's got it, but then he's too what's the word? Got too much madness.
Brain farts.
Well. Yeah. It's true. That's what I mean. He can be unbelievable, and then they just do something stupid, like that own goal he scored against Liverpool. Like he didn't need to fucking kick it like he did. He could have just. I don't know. Yeah, I just got to let him go.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. I can't really argue with anything you guys have said, in all honesty. So yeah, he'll go. We'll move on to Harry Maguire. God. I mean, if either of you want to disagree with me, now's your time.
No, I think he's got to go. Hey, do you know what's worse with it? He's a captain, and he never seems to take responsibility. He never says, he always says like, "Oh, the strikers need to score," or something. Do you know what I mean? He never seems to be like, "Oh, I need to do better."
Have you noticed that recently as well? He's not doing the post-match.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Interviews as well.
Yeah,
like he's completely shying away from
yeah.
it.
Like it always
He's
seems
a
to be
terrible.
speaking.
Yeah, he's a terrible. McTominay was the last one, wasn't he? I think.
McTominay.
He's an awful captain.
Yeah.
Is he a terrible footballer? It's hard, isn't it? You can see what he's good at and what he's not. And I think that at Man United, what they're trying to do is play a way that's never going to suit him.
Yeah, exactly,
he can't turn, he can't run. One thing, the annoying thing with Harry Maguire for me is he's dumb. Right? Watch him play, and every game, without fail, there'll be a situation. I was talking to Shane earlier, right? And you'll have Harry Maguire. So you'll have our defensive line. Let's say they're 10 yards back from the strikers, the opposition team.
Yeah.
And then the ball will be coming in to a player on the opposition team. And Harry Maguire will run, right? He'll sprint that 10 yards. I say sprint. He'll run that 10 yards.
Light job.
To try and get in and nick the ball.
Yeah.
Every time, pretty much every time he misses. Then all of a sudden there's a gaping hole.
Yeah, it happened against Burnley, didn't it?
Where he tried
to come in.
And there's a gaping hole. Then all of a sudden, this is where things happen. Like you end up with your right back going towards the penalty spot when the ball's coming in, because your centre back has completely vacated his position, and they're through. Yeah. So everyone's having to shift over. And the problem with our team is no one's then smart enough to go, oh, hang on a second, there's a gap there. This is a problem. Let me go and fill that gap. No one fills the gaps. The other players also have to take responsibility for it. But the fact of the matter is, it all starts with Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
He's a leader.
As I was saying to you last night, Rez, I genuinely believe he's a mid-table Premier League player at best.
It's what I said about Wan-Bissaka. When he first joined, we were so 5 yards deeper, so he made him look a lot better. As soon as the season started, we tried to be more progressive, push up the pitch, and it just doesn't work because he's too slow to react. He's all right. He's not the worst in the ball. He's all right, but yeah, he's not. He's never going to be a backup centre. He'd be a decent backup centre back to come in, but he's never going to be that, is he? So I'll just let him go. Definitely.
I think the issue Harry Maguire has as well is he's always going to be a symbol of everything that's wrong at Man United.
Yeah, well, he's a captain. You've got to take this. Some of these players are just too soft. It's what's the problem with the team.
No, I agree. I think, again, I was talking to Shane, because Shane was like, well, why is he captain? And I think, to be honest, if they took it away from him, it would probably ruin his career.
Yeah. That's what I think. But like, what can you do? Like, if it's not a fucking charity,
they won't take it away until the new manager comes. So then then you can take the captaincy away from him. It doesn't matter.
I understood it when he got it, because I thought when he came, I thought he did look like a bit of a leader, and I sort of understood it. I know it's weird to give it straight to someone just signed, but I sort of understood it because we didn't really have any leaders in the team. It's quite a young team. You could give it to De Gea, but I don't know. He's not really a talker, is he, or anything like that? But
got a real problem at the club with a lack of leaders, a lack of leadership.
Yeah.
In fact, I can't see a single one. The only one or two that I'd say are someone like Mata and also someone like Cavani.
There's different leaders, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's different leaders.
That's what I was saying to Shane. You either lead with your personality or you lead by example on the pitch.
Overall, yeah.
Yeah, or both in some, like Roy Keane is a perfect example of both, right?
Yeah.
He showed it on the pitch and he showed it verbally as well.
So United lack it massively, and certainly Harry Maguire is not it. I think that he was given it as a token gesture. He cost 80 million. There was a lot of stick over the transfer fee. And then he comes in, and it was about 6 months in, something like that. He was given the captaincy. Joke. Absolute
I think
joke.
didn't he get it straight away?
Was it straight away?
I think he got it straight away,
joke.
yeah.
But
That's what I mean. I sort of understood it because I didn't know who would you give it
the
to?
problem is that's what the Ollie Solskjaer's regime brought us, didn't it?
Mm. No, it's true. No, it's true. It was a bit too nighty at times.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're struggling now, I think, because these players are now suddenly being asked to fucking do some work.
Well,
and it's
true.
like, oh, hang on a second.
And then bringing someone like Ronaldo, and his standards are so high, they can't hack it.
Yeah, and actually, Harry Maguire apparently has been one of the most vocal ones against Ronaldo.
Well, exactly. Yeah, what do you expect? He's used to a holiday. No one's like. Do you know what I mean?
I feel sorry. The person I feel sorry for is Rafa Varane. He's gone from having Sergio Ramos, like one of the greatest centre backs of all time, and now he has Harry Maguire alongside him. So imagine that. Imagine that downgrade.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that he's still playing, because I thought that Ranić had seen that he was useless and decided on a pairing of Lindelof and Varane, but that doesn't seem to be the case, because Maguire's still getting the fucking team. Again, I think it's because he's captain. They're like, oh, your captain should be on the pitch. And it's all of this bullshit. It just shows
there's
what
a lot of politics
the club is in.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of politics. And it's just shit.
All right, let's move on from him then. So we move to Varane. Are we all in agreement to stay?
100%.
Yeah, but I am a bit worried about his injury record. I heard he got injured again. Like not bad injury, a knock on a foot. And he's not playing on Wednesday or whenever they play. I just hope he ain't one of them fucking ones where he's been sold a dud, where he's a good player but he's always injured.
I mean, we've had that a few times.
When do we? It's like, I know Real Madrid were in a bad situation at the time. Like they need money, but they don't normally give away their best players. You rarely get the best players out of Real Madrid.
But he was coming towards the end of his contract, wasn't he? He had a year left.
Yeah.
I think he didn't.
I think they did offer him. I think they offered him more money.
Yeah, but he's also a United fan as well. He probably saw an opportunity. You know, his last.
I think he always wanted to come.
Fergie wanted to have him as partnership with Jones, didn't he? That was what Fergie wanted before he left.
Yeah.
But he signed for Madrid instead of us.
No, I'd keep him. I just a bit. He's injured.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But no, I'd definitely keep him.
Right.
He also looks a bit shaky when he's got fucking Harry Maguire next to him. But that being said,
anyone
would. Harry Maguire. He looks quality.
You get prime Rio Ferdinand up against with Harry Maguire, still fucked.
If you watch him, he goes unnoticed because he's so calm.
Yeah, I agree. I go along with that.
And he's so he does everything right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So Lindelof.
Yeah.
Stay or go? Stay.
Stay for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Army.
Yeah. He's have my thoughts on Lindelof. I do like Lindelof. No, he's a good centre back. I always thought he was a good centre back. He's just. I don't think he's.
I think he's a good second choice.
I think he's our
in and out of the team.
At the moment,
he's definitely our best.
With Varane, and honestly, I think we'll start to look much better. Obviously, there's other issues, and we'll get onto that shortly once we get to the midfielders. But give him a run, and he'll be much better than Maguire. They've shown themselves to be much better. Maguire and Lindelof versus Maguire and Varane. Varane and Lindelof versus Maguire and Varane. It's a much better contract.
He's got a good ping on him as well. His passing is quality.
Yeah,
he always finds the pass. Yeah,
I'd keep him, but I'd always say, like you were saying about Dallow, he's not a winning the Premier League centre back.
He needs to be in and out of the team. Like you need to bring him in and out.
You only need one, in my opinion. You only need one top, like world-class centre back to win the league. You look at recent history; it's the era of two top quality centre backs in the same team is kind of behind us. When you look at
I guess
when
you could
United and
say
Chelsea were
that
going,
Liverpool, can't you?
yeah, and
Massive,
City
not really world
after
class.
City after us, basically, when City started to look really good, obviously with company, they had numerous centre backs next to him, Otamendi.
This is where it comes. This is where it comes back to the Gea, whereas he doesn't come out of his line a lot. So I think that shakes up the defence a lot. With it, that's why I was like a bit iffy. Like, do we? I'll definitely keep him, but do we? We have to start looking at a more modern goalkeeper.
Well, this is. I mean, we've got a lot of problems in defence where we've already spoken about Maguire at length in terms of his captaincy and everything. But you look at all those players that we've spoken about so far. Who of them is actually vocal? Who would actually sort out a defence, sort out position?
Varane
Right,
would.
this is the line.
I'd say Varane.
I think Varane would.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
It looks like he goes mad at Maguire constantly. Right, every single game he plays, it looks like he's constantly shouting at him.
I think Varane is a leader. I think he is. I think he positions. Like you say, you can be leader as in vocal, you can be leader as in performance. I think he is sort of that sort of.
He's a Rio Ferdinand though as well, isn't he? He's very classy. You need someone next to him who's a bit of a nutcase like Vida. Maybe obviously not the quality of Vida, but
yeah, no, I'll definitely keep Lindelof. He can't. He's had it. I think he's been.
No,
he's probably
I
been our best centre back. Like, he's not our best centre back in terms of quality, but I think he's been our best centre back this season.
Yeah,
I'll put him over Varane. Varane hasn't had a steady run of games. You know what I mean?
No, but the thing is, with Varane, you notice when Varane's not there compared to when he is there.
Yeah, of course. But I just think in terms of consistency, Lindelof's been our best defender.
Yeah. Right, we move Tuanzebe on loan, isn't he? He's at Aston Villa. Aston Villa?
No, he's at Napoli.
Napoli now, Jesus Christ.
He's got go.
I would say go. He's had his chance. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not happened. Yeah, he's just not. It's not worked out for him. He's had his chance. Every time he seems to, you're like, oh, he's going to kick on now. He always goes on loan somewhere else. You're like, yeah, I think that's time.
Yeah.
All right, I think we all of us said go at the same time. So that's let's move on to Telles. What do you guys think of Telles?
I'll let you go, Rez.
I'll
let Rez go.
Stay your guy.
He is a star. I don't like him.
Star?
I don't think he's a good. No, I did not. He's not a good footballer. He's really not. No.
I think he is.
I think that left side of our defence is a real problem.
But then the problem is he's got him there. That's why.
That's what I was just about to say. That is that why. I would say he's a stay, but he's kind of a middle ground where it's like.
I think he's a squad player for a Premier League winning team.
He's there by default.
Yeah. That's the problem with our squad. We've got a lot of squad players that are not capable of starting every game to win us a league.
Yeah,
that's the problem of where we are. But that's where we are. But for me, I actually really like him. I think he's quality on the ball. I think he's quality on the ball. I think his crossing's good. I think he's a lot better than Luke Shaw. Defensively, he's not all that, but
then I don't think it helps defensively that he has Harry Maguire next to him. That's the problem. Like, a lot of stuff you think, that's gone down Tellers' side, but then it's 9 times out of 10 it's because Maguire's stepped up fucking 15 feet and left a massive gaping hole.
I do like it, but he's similar to Dallow. Like, he's a bring him in and out of games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd keep him.
Okay, I'd say stay as well. Rez, are you in the goal or you stay?
Go along with stay for now.
We'll put a stay for now and then we'll discuss it afterwards whether you want to change it or not. Brandon Williams. I feel this is a difficult one because you can see it either way. I could see it going the way of Tuanzebe, whereas I know obviously he's still very, very young, but it's like he seems like he's had a couple of chances and it's just not worked out.
I'd keep him just to. He's still young, and I think he's done all right at Norwich.
Would you keep him and send him on loan again?
No, I'd keep him and use him as a utility player because the thing is, he can
Yeah.
play right back and left back, can't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you can't like you say, you can't sell everyone.
Yeah, no, of course, right. So we'll keep him. Luke Shaw.
Yeah, I fucking hate this guy. That's a god, I hate him. Did you see his comments yesterday? Yesterday or the day before after the England game?
I don't watch England
Did you
games. I
hear
fucking
what
hate it.
No, I don't watch him, but all his comments were coming up about him. Feels wanted at England, and he's like, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not wanted at United, but it's a lot less pressure. And I was like,
But that's what I mean. This is the thing.
Weak.
Down the Southgate is so much
weak.
like Ollie Solskjaer. You know that he's
But
going to be the what kind of guy put his arm around them. Oh, you're really good. You know, you're really good. Oh, you don't want to run. Oh, that's okay, mate. You don't have
so
to run if
weak.
you don't want to.
I
Jose
can't
said it
stand
years ago, didn't he? That
Yeah,
Luke
yeah.
Shaw mentally is weak.
He is, mate. He is, mate. And he's shit. Let's be honest, he's shit. Like, his position is fucking awful. He can barely get up and down the pitch. He's so lazy. Oh, I can't stand him. Honestly, he doesn't really offer much going forward at the moment either.
I don't feel as passionately about him as Armir. He's another one who's a borderline for me. So I'm happy to go along with the majority here.
I think it gets very difficult because you have if you're going to keep Brandon Williams, you're going to keep Tellez, you're going to keep Dallow. Like you sort of get to the point where you end up going to have 4 left and right backs.
But there's a youngster coming through, isn't there? I said this about
Ethan Laird. Yeah, no, and if you've got Ethan Laird as well,
there's Fernandez. I don't know if you've seen much of him. He looks like a proper player. I'm not even lying. He looks quality for the under 18s.
That's the thing. So you look at it then. If you've got him and Ethan Laird, you're talking and Luke Shaw into the equation as well. It's 6, 7 right.
Obviously, that Fernandez is not going to come in and be like, yeah, I'm starting. But
no, but he's a squad player, isn't he? So
he's I think he'll get a few chances next season. That Fernandez, he's a good player, but no, I can't take the weak mentality more than anything.
Yeah,
it's that's so soft. It's the same with Mcguire. So soft, no responsibility for what they're doing. It's always seems to put blame on others, or it's not. It's the atmosphere of the club. I was like, fucking hell, you do your job, and then fucking everything will sort itself out.
Luke Shaw's a difficult one for me because I want to see him succeed, and we've definitely seen in glimpses what he's capable of, and it is good.
He's another one.
His mentality is.
It's been 8 years now, isn't he?
He was there when Fergie signed him.
No, not Fergie.
No, it wasn't.
You're not. I thought Fergie.
Van Gaal
no.
signed him.
Oh, fucking hell.
I think Van Gaal signed him in his second season. When did he come? 2015. So he's been there 7 years. This is his 7th year, and he's had one. He's had one half a season good. That was the back end of last season. Towards Christmas period, he started kicking on, and then he usually carried that form into the Euros. But he's too soft for me, and his position is shit. He's lazy. I don't like him, if you can tell.
Oh, really? Couldn't really tell that one, mate, in all honesty. Seemed like he was your biggest fan.
He was one of them I was gunning for, mate.
Just got Luke Shaw fucking on his dartboard at home, just constantly throwing darts at him.
Sounds it. Which is strange considering what Harry Maguire was.
Yeah, Harry Maguire. Yeah, no. Let's move away from Harry Maguire because I'm genuinely starting to get more and more angry every time I hear his name. So Luke Shaw, go.
I say go for this.
Yeah, Reza.
I say I don't mind.
I'll put him in go then. We can always sort it out afterwards.
What do you say? You think he needs to go?
I don't know with him. I like you say about the mentality side of things. I don't like someone that's weak mentally because you can't be weak mentally when you're playing in front of 75,000 fans in the biggest club in the world.
Exactly.
You just can't be. You have to be very strong. And if he's going to be weak, you can go. See you later, mate.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to Fred. I'll let you guys talk. You two know Fred. You know exactly how I feel about this man. We bought. When did we buy him? Was it 2018?
He was Mourinho's Uh,
2017.
2016, I think.
It was 2016, and he's been here.
2017, I think. No, 2017, I
So
think.
he's been here 5 years, and in 5 years he's played however many games he's played, and in one of those games I've seen that he's half Brazilian. In every other,
Brazilian,
in every,
like,
yeah, that's the only game that I've actually gone. Oh fuck me, he actually looks Brazilian tonight. It's like we've had his twin brother.
I don't know if Fred. I really don't know if Fred. Like, someone think, what the fuck? He can't be a footballer, and I think he's actually right. He's such a weird player, but he needs to be a squad player. He can't be a starter every week. He cannot be a starter every week. That's where we're at, though, and that's why we're so shit, because we're starting players that are squad players every week.
Yeah.
I'd keep him.
Okay.
I think he looks a lot better. He looks a lot better pushed further forward. You know, he's not like trying to pass it around like front of the back four, and then we lose a ball in dangerous areas. I'd keep him just as a squad player.
The thing is, you're playing him further forward. Is he really going to be better than Bruno?
No, but like he can play with Bruno. Like he done. I think he was probably our best player against Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
No, I'd keep him.
You keep him, okay? Rez, what you saying?
He's a stay.
Stay.
Yeah, he's a stay. I know that you hate him, but I actually think that he's our best bloody midfielder in that position. And that's, I mean, I know that's not saying a lot, but he's energetic and he always works hard, mate. He always works hard.
Yeah, he's got the right mentality.
Yeah, you watch some of the players, even Scott McTominay, mate, jogging, walking, and you're like, mate, who was it again? It was against City.
Yeah.
When McTominay was just kind of strolling next to players. Fred doesn't do that. Fred gives it. So for that reason, he's a stay.
Okay, fair enough. We'll move on. On to your best mate, Red, Scott McTominay.
Yeah, he's a go.
Guy, really?
Yeah, mate. I don't see what everyone sees. It's like fucking Darren Fletcher syndrome all over again, mate. The guy brings nothing. Yeah, okay, he scored that goal against fucking City and he scored a couple against Spurs, wasn't it, before? Mate, what else does he do? Defensively, he's shocking. His positional awareness is awful. His passing range is average for a midfielder. He loses the ball a lot. Even 5-yard simple passes sometimes. You saw again the second half of that City game. And I know that there's mitigating circumstances, right? Because ultimately the whole team was all over the place. But he in particular was at fault for a lot in that second half. Sorry, Loki's crying at me. He wants food. But anyways, crack on. Yeah, he's a go for me. My opinion, he's a go. I can't see him improving either. I don't think he's got the right... Listen, he claims to be a United player, but what you see on the pitch isn't. He doesn't chase things down. He doesn't harry. He doesn't harass. He just watches the game go by at times. And I just don't understand how that would be acceptable for anyone.
Are
I'd keep him. He don't remind me of Fred as a player, but I think he needs to be a squad player. He can't be starting every week. That's why I think you see him, like some games he looks decent and some games just fucking awful. These players need to be dipped in and out of teams. They can't be starting every week.
Yeah.
And I'd keep him.
I would keep him and Fred would go, in my opinion. That's just me, the way I feel about things. I think he's a lot better than what Fred gives. Brings more to the team what Fred gives.
They can't play together. They're better without each other.
They are 100%.
They have to play.
I think
each other.
that's the one position that if United can strengthen this year, you can start chopping and changing players like Fred and McTominay in the team. And then if United get a decent centre midfielder in,
it's the most important place on the pitch, the midfield. That's where you start every build-up. Everything goes through to the strikers. Like no balls are going through because these players can't pass it.
Yeah.
And then it's slow and it goes back inside, and that's why it's so easy to play.
Like I say, I'd keep him. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
keep
he's a
it
good
as well.
squad player to have. But like you're
Yeah.
saying, Armir, we've got too many players that you're saying, yeah, they're a good squad player, but they can't all
That's what. Yeah, but
start.
that's where we are. That's what I mean.
That's the problem. So we've
They-
got to start
if-
filtering them out this year and next year. So I can see
Yeah,
him
there's a lot
staying
of
for
players
this
in the
year.
slip that's fire.
I can see him staying for another year, and then when we start getting some better players in, either him or Fred will end up going. One of them, I don't know what one, but one of them will end up going. So we'll move on to Matic. Armir, Matic?
Easy.
Uh,
Go.
Yeah, I'm saying go as well.
I'd say go, not because he's shit. He's just old.
Yeah, he's just
Like you
too
can
old.
see at times, you can see what a proper defensive midfielder is with him,
Yeah,
and but he's just too old.
yeah,
He can't
he
do
is
it. He
too
can't
old
play
now.
2 games in a week, or even 2 games in 2 weeks. Like, do you know what I mean?
In a
He's always
month.
out. Yeah, he's just too old. He's not a bad player. He's just too old. That's
No,
all it
like
is.
I said, that's the only reason I say go as well. He's just too old.
Yeah.
Reza, any reason why go?
No.
Anything,
He's a
anything
go.
different to what we've said? Essentially, that's
No,
what I mean.
he's 100% a go. His age is a massive issue. His age was an issue when we signed him.
Yeah,
He was past it.
it's
at
only
that
I was
point.
actually quite excited when we signed him, but yeah, I guess when you
He's,
look at it,
it was the same as Schweinsteiger, right? We signed him way past his prime, and again, you saw glimpses. You see it with Matic. You see glimpses of like, oh, there is actually he was a good player, but he's not. He's got to go.
yeah.
Hannibal.
He's young. He's a stay.
That's
Yeah,
what I
exactly
would
so.
say as well. Yeah, I'd say the
He's
same thing.
definitely still.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be a very, very good player. You just need to give him a bit of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, Donny van den Beek. Stay or go? I'd say it depends on what manager we get in.
Yeah, I was
Honestly.
literally going to say the same thing.
If we get Poch or someone
If
different, it's go.
Yeah.
But if we
Even
get
with-
Ten
I don't
Hag,
know, even with Poch, you might like him. I don't know. He hasn't really done anything yet. I've watched him. He's just
It's
I don't know
difficult
if
though
he's-
because that Everton team is an absolute shambles, and they've got a shambles of a
Yeah.
manager.
oh yeah, you're not wrong. there.
he. I don't know. Really in between this.
Should I leave him till
I-
closer to the end?
Yeah, we'll come
Yeah?
back to him.
I'd say keep.
I'll put him
See
I'll
closer to
say
the
keep
end.
as well, but
All right, keep. Yeah, we'll put him in the stay for the time
Yeah.
being, and then we'll go from there. So I can't pronounce this geezer's name. He's the one who went. He's
Palestri.
Yeah, Palestri. I'm glad you said it before me. Is he the one? He's the one that's just gone on with Argentina, isn't
Uruguay.
it? Or Uruguay.
Yeah,
That's it,
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one I was like, what the fuck? Who is he? And then like, he didn't really do much when he first started. Like, he went to Real Sociedad, was it?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he started bursting into the scene for Uruguay, and he's playing well. So I'd keep him to see what he's like.
Yeah. Rez, do you know
He's
enough?
going to go on loan again. He's going to go on loan.
Yeah,
again.
I
like-
would say keep and go
he's
on
young.
loan. That's what I would say. Keep
He'll
and
go
go
on
on
loan
loan.
again.
Yeah.
Definitely won't. He won't
Yeah.
come back in.
Okay. So that does him. So next we got James Garner.
he can go.
I know this kid from Football Manager.
Yeah, mate, he's quality.
He's actually, I think he's really,
absolute
really good.
quality, mate.
The only problem is
He
his
will-
contract's up for renewal this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd definitely get a new contract. Mate. No, he's quality, man. He'll be dipped in and out of the team next season. He won't go on loan. He's so good.
He's
Did
played
you watch
very
him
well
against
for
Liverpool?
Forest, and he played very well against Arsenal for
He's
Forest
seen
as
his free
well.
kicks as well.
His free kicks and his dead balls are what United have been
Mate,
missing for a while.
he's quality. He's not afraid on the ball. He passes forward. He makes the right passes, and he's so young.
Yeah, I would genuinely put him in the stay as well. That's what I'd say about him. Yeah. So that does him. Poggy.
Pogba.
Yeah, I'm in the go. I'm in the go.
He's definitely got to go. He's just so much circus around this cunt, and he's never there. He's Luke Shaw is fucking. I don't think he's a. I honestly don't think he's a Premier League player. I don't think he can handle the intensity. Oh, that's my honest opinion. Like he shows glimpses, but he's always like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, and what are you talking about, mate? I can take the game by the scruff of the neck. You're meant to be a big player.
No,
Look
I
at
know what you
Bruno.
mean.
Look at Bruno when he came in,
Yeah,
and
no,
he's supposedly he's technically probably better than Bruno, but I don't think his mentality is great.
no, I don't think it is either. And
He don't
it's
want to be
annoying
here
because
anyway. Like, how many times we've seen this? Ever since he came back, he's wanted to fucking go.
it's annoying because you can see how good of a player he can be. Like when he comes in, when he does certain stuff, but he doesn't. You can't
He's injured
perform.
shit. Well,
You can't perform for 5 games out of 38 and say you're a very good player.
how long's he been here? He's been here when Marino came.
The
So
same as Fred, wasn't it? Same as Fred.
2016.
Yeah,
Came in 2016. So what's that? 8 years.
about that.
Is that 8 years? No, 6 years. Sorry.
6 years, 6 years, 6 years.
And out of them 6 years, he's probably had bare minimum like one good season out of the six. You know what I mean? Not like one good season in a season, just one good season out of the 6 years he's had.
Well, that's the
Like if
thing.
you add all
Like
the
I say,
games up,
you can't play
shocking.
well for 1 out of 6
That's
games
shocking. He's
or
80
1 out of 7
million.
games. Yeah, it's not good enough. I know. I think I already know what Rez is going to say, but go on, pal.
Yeah.
He's our most talented player. You can see that. There are things that he can do that no one else does. But his attitude is all kinds of twisted.
Exactly.
It doesn't help having Mino Raiola in the background. He's also one of those players who he needs too much around him for him to work.
Yeah.
And because of that, especially in the Premier League, you can't really, it's a luxury you can't really afford. Because of the pace of the game, the intensity, in Italy it works because you can have two defensive midfielders to cover for everything that he doesn't do, because it's a more defensively minded game anyway. In the Premier League, you can't. And he shirks his responsibilities at times. That being said, as a United fan, that City game, when we were 2-0 down at half-time, and suddenly he decided that he was going to do this, it was incredible. But he can't decide and pick and choose when he plays and when he doesn't play. And it is a problem. So because of that, he has to go.
1 game in 6 years, he
That's
goes,
what I
I
mean.
fancy playing this game.
There's been other games. Since he's been back, he has been good. He's been better than Fernandes. And so it's a difficult one for Pogba, because I think that, like I say, for me personally, he is the most talented player in this squad. You can see that. He's clearly he's a cut above pretty much everyone else. So it's a hard one, but all of the noise that comes with him isn't good. It's not constructive. So he has to go.
Yeah, I think when he was at Juventus, he had Pirlo and who was the other person?
But was it
Fidel?
I think so. Yeah, they did everything for him.
Football's so slow over there. I guarantee it. Go back to Juventus or PSG or fucking Real Madrid. It probably smash it because the football's slow. The teams are shit. Do you know what I mean? It looked better, but I can't stand it, man.
I mean, if he goes to PSG, he ain't winning the Champions League. All he win is the Ligue 1. That'll be it. He won't be winning anything else. And
it suits PSG fucking down to two.
I don't know whether he will, though, mate.
Full of big egos.
You think?
No, they're full of big. I mean, as in full of big egos. Don't work on.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Then they'll have 4 players standing on the halfway line, and every single person defending.
Mbappe will go,
3. Oh yeah, but we ain't discussing them. So we'll move on. So Pogba guy, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Bruno. Do you want us to kick us off, Rez?
Right. This is where it gets difficult, because I'd never say for him to go. He has to be a stay. However, he started to really piss me off too. His whining. Be a fucking man, grow some bollocks. Right? He whines. He digs people out continually when he himself gives away the ball 9 times out of 10. He's constantly trying these Hollywood passes that aren't coming off. The amount of times you see him try a crossfield ball and it doesn't come off. And you're like, mate, stop it. Just stop. I understand that this season's difficult for him because, listen, Bruno Fernandes is not Kevin De Bruyne, and he'll never be a Kevin De Bruyne. He's not that kind of player. What he's very good at is he's more Frank Lampard, I would say. He's more get into the box, score some goals, right? He's good at everything else, like Frank Lampard was, but his main asset is scoring goals. With Ronaldo coming into the team, it's really, really hampered Fernandes, and it's kind of hamstrung Fernandes because he's then not able to do what he wanted to do because Ronaldo's not willing to drop deep and basically interchange. Ronaldo has to stay forwards. So it's been a difficult season for Fernandes. That being said, his stats are still pretty good, but when you look at his passing stats, they're fucking horrendous, mate. Especially in that area of the pitch.
You've got to think about, he tries, the best players will have the worst passing stats because they try so many things. Do you know what I mean? They try things that...
disagree with that.
I think,
because you look at Kevin De Bruyne or a David Silva or Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, but they're playing. You got to think that what teams they're playing in as well. Like he's playing in a. He's our luxury player basically, and he's playing in a disorganised, basically shit United team. Whereas the Silvers, the De Bruynes, they've got fucking Sterling, they've got Silva, they've got who else? Grealish. So you've got so many players.
Oh no, mate! I 100% agree, and I wouldn't say that Fernandes should go.
I don't think.
But what I do think his attitude needs to change.
I like
in my
that.
opinion.
I actually like that because I think he shows he cares. He wants to win everything. Like I don't care about.
Oh yeah. Again, but it's difficult, right? Because listen, right? If you again, you've all played football. If you're on the pitch and you've got someone who's clearly very talented, but's giving the ball away constantly, and then he turns around to you and it's like, "What are you doing there? Fucking hell, mate! You should have done this. You should have." You'd be like, "Hang on a second, mate. You want to wind your neck in," and that's a massive problem.
Yeah, but his output's unbelievable. Like when he actually comes down to like he creates the most chance. He's created the most chances this season in the league.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. His stats are very good, but he also gives away the ball so much.
Yeah, but that's going to happen. I don't mind that when it's someone like him because he's trying things.
I sort of understand where Armir's coming from.
How I see it.
I do feel like you have to have one player that will try stuff, and I'm happy for him to be that player.
He's our luxury player. He's the one who has to take risks.
It's like
I feel like his. Do you not think that his decision making is poor though?
Yeah, like, it is poor. It is poor.
When you take those chances, I'll tell you who said it the other day. Oh, there's a massive backlash, right? Because someone was it Darren Bent or someone like that? I can't remember who it was. It's about Odegaard being a better player than Fernandes. To be honest, I think the reason that was said, and the reason that I can see why someone would say that, is because Odegaard's very good at picking his moments. Fernandes isn't. Fernandes just goes for every single time. He's that player who will never play the safe pass. He'll get the ball, and the first thing on his mind is, right, I'm going to spray this fucking ball. That's a problem. That is a massive, massive problem, because actually football's not like that. You're not playing on the playground. It's not a playground. He needs to calm down.
I think it's we're half in between. Like we're both right, if you know what I mean. Is a halfway point between what we're saying.
Yeah, no, I agree, because like I say, I think it's. I probably sound like I'm coming across really unfair on him, and that he's amazing.
A lot of United fans do give him criticism, but for me, I can't. I struggle to. Like his output's a joke. He's been our best player. He's been our best player since probably Fergie retired. I can't think of a better player than him.
No, I agree. He has been. Mate. Without him, could you imagine what kind of state we'd be in?
What I mean. But that's what I mean. I think we're halfway. We're both right in our points where he does need to stop being too erratic at times, but you don't want to take it away from him too much, because then he won't take as many risks. We need that player to take risks, because otherwise we're just stuck.
Otherwise we end up getting we're too stale, just going side to side.
Yeah.
No one's willing to make that pass through.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But for what it's worth, I think Pogba's better his decision making going forward than Fernandes, for example. I think Pogba
Possibly. He's probably got
knows
possibly
better.
better.
He knows
Technically, he's
better
way better,
when
but
to.
his
Well, no,
attitude
he knows
shit.
better when to pass, what pass to do at certain times. Whereas Fernandes, mate, how many times have we seen him try that little dink over the defence and it doesn't work? Every game, he'll try it about 17 fucking million times. You're like, mate, you try something else. It's not working.
But listen, I get frustrated with Bruno. I shout if he fucking, what are you doing? But I do struggle to give him
But he's
too
an
much
absolute stay.
criticism.
He's an absolute stay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, there's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
All right, so after him, then we'll move Jesse Lingard.
Stay.
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 Fucking hell, Jesus.
He actually will stay.
Oh, I want him to go.
Yeah, I
He's had his time. He's done. He's just not.
Mate,
He's not
Jay
there.
Lings, he should go. Like the club
should have
was
gone last
stupid
year.
in the summer.
Yeah, I
were
don't know what the
stupid.
fuck.
I was
I don't
saying
know
this
what
to you
the
last night,
fuck,
though, Rez. Though I genuinely believe United were going to sign Rice last year, but because we got Ronaldo, we stopped signing Rice. I thought we were going to offer Jesse Lingard money for Rice,
Yeah,
and then
quite possibly.
and then instead of because Ronaldo was available, we went for Ronaldo rather than Rice.
I don't care, man. I'll take Ronaldo over anyone, mate, just for the moments, just to bring him back, mate. You don't get their memories back.
But yeah, no, Jesse Lingard's overstays welcome.
Yeah.
He's got to
Yeah.
go. Right, and we move on to the first of the wingers, Ahmad.
He's a stay, isn't he? He's young. Obviously, we haven't seen any of him, but I mean, you don't sign a player for 37 million.
He done a lot. He's done a lot coming into games. Like I remember a game in AC Milan, he scored and he played well. But he's gone on
Yeah,
loan
he
to
scored the
Rangers.
header,
I
wasn't
don't know
it?
if he's playing many. Yeah, he's gone on loan to Rangers, but I don't know if he's playing that many games. Like, but I think it'd
Don't
be a
think
good
he
learning
is.
thing for him because he's getting kicked a lot. Like, I remember the second game was an old firmed up. He got us up at half time.
Getting back.
But I think that's good for him. I think it's good for him though because he needs to toughen up. He's small as it is,
Yeah, he's got to understand he's going to get kicked.
but he scored in his debut for Rangers. But I don't think he's playing as much. But yeah, he's definitely. I think he'll stay. I think he'd be a good player.
Yeah, I sound them. So that's Ahmad done. So we move on to Alanga.
Nathan needs a stay.
Rhythm is a
Yeah.
dancer.
He's a lot like Rashford when
Oh,
he
don't
first
say
came,
that.
just raw. No, he's just raw, isn't he? Just raw. He's not afraid. He's just.
Yeah,
He's better
he
at
doesn't-
cutting inside than Rashford, though. I think
I think
he's
his
better at
decision
basically
making.
covering the pitch.
His decision making is a lot better than Rashford as well.
I think he's a better finisher than Rashford. I don't know about as a winger. I don't know. He's a good player.
He's been a
I
revelation, in my opinion.
don't think he's going to be one anything fucking hell. He's a world's beater, but I think he'd be a decent player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't see him being a world beater.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, he's got to stay.
All right, he's staying them. So we move on to Anthony Martial.
He's got to fucking go.
I'll go first. I say go. I genuinely say go. I said this to you last night, Rez, when we was at the restaurant. I genuinely believe we should try and use him to get someone to come to the club that's actually going to do well for us. Someone like a Tushimani at Monaco, just say to him, look, here's Martial and a couple of quid for Tushimani. Or someone like that to use him as like a bargaining chip to a smaller club.
Good, that kid though.
I think he's quite good.
I haven't
He
seen much
seems to
of
be
him.
quite good. Whenever I've
He scored the other day. I know that.
I haven't seen loads of games of him, but I've seen a few games that he's played, and he's actually played quite well in midfield. But I don't know. I was just giving that as an example. Possibly that we could go for someone like that. Or the problem is, no big club's going to
Mate,
really take him.
Have you seen the Seville fans don't even like him?
Yeah,
They
that's
said he's
the-
lazy as shit. He doesn't track or anything. It's the same shit with Martial. He's never going to learn. He's just lazy. His head's not in it.
It is quite annoying because when he is on, he's fucking class.
Yeah,
But
but
He's just it's
so
not.
many of these players these days now. When like we say that about, like when he's
Yeah,
on,
you
he's
should
on.
you shouldn't be saying that about players now. You shouldn't be saying that. You shouldn't be saying,
the old
oh,
thing,
that
like,
one in
talent's
10 games
nothing
he's
when
good.
talent don't work hard. That's
Yeah.
the old saying. That's all it is.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You can't play well 1 in 10 games and expect to be the bee's knees and expect to be everything's good and everything's fine and everything's sunshine and rainbows. It's not.
Yeah, obviously he's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go. Rez.
Yeah, he's a go. It's a shame because you can see that there's talent, but he's an absolute go. His attitude, his application's all wrong.
Yeah. Right then, Jadon Sancho, J-Dog Sancho. I mean, to me, it's stay. He started to be a baller, mate. Oh Jesus, it's nice watching.
He always does start slow to a season as well. He even done it at Dortmund. He never really kicks on till Christmas period or something. But
him and Alanga on each wing is actually quite exciting to watch.
Yeah.
All we need is that central player.
They're fearless.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah,
I love it. I've been saying for the last month or so.
Makes players all the time.
I've been saying for the last month, maybe before he started scoring as well as playing well. I've been saying for a while he's been playing very well.
Yeah, he just needed time to adapt. He never played in England. He played for a youth team, but that's not first team football. He just needed time to adapt.
Gets you on your edge of your seat when you're trying to take players on as well. I like that. I like when wingers try to take people on. That's what I like. So, seeing as we're unanimous in him, we'll move on to Juan Mata.
He's like Matic, and his legs are just completely. He was never quick anyway, but his legs are completely gone.
Is he going into a coaching role?
That's what I was going to say.
I was going to
say
stay.
I'd like him to stay,
but more as a coach rather than a player. Get rid of his playing contract.
Even if he wasn't a coach, do you know what? He is a consummate professional. He is the ultimate professional. My doorbell's going. I'm going to have to go, boys. I'll literally be a couple of minutes. Sorry.
Okay.
Are you carrying this on?
Yeah, we carry it on, mate. Yeah. I can see what you mean.
I'd stay.
Yeah,
not to play.
that's the thing. I don't think he should be staying to play, and I think we should get him off the books. Because I know he's probably not on the biggest wage in the world. Where's Matt's wage? Yeah. Well, I don't know. It says it's 8 million a year. It's saying.
Yeah, he's on a low wage.
I don't know. That's not that.
He came under Moyes, didn't he? So he was on. That's before we started giving him a big wages.
Yeah, so 16 million in 2 years. So 8 million a year. 4 million in 6 months. It's about 650, 700k a week, a month. Sorry, it's still on quite big a wage. It's not a small amount.
Did he get? He must have signed a new contract.
Yeah, that's the problem with Solskjaer though. The real big problem because he signed a lot of these players to big contracts when they're coming towards the end of it. That's the problem
with the club.
Because Bailly's got 4 or 5 years left. All these players have got quite big contracts that.
That's why we can't get rid of them.
Essentially, they could just turn around and go, "I'm not leaving. I'm staying."
Well, that's what's happened, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets to the point where they're just going to sit there and go, "I don't have to leave. I'm staying."
Oh, massively so, mate. A lot of these players won't get in that many other teams, but no, for me, Mata is a stay because of the presence.
What we were saying to you before when you was gone, Rez, is that he's on 16 million for a 2-year deal. He's got. It ends this year, I believe.
I don't have to. Is it end of this season or next season?
When does it end? 2022. So it's this year. So I'd offer him a coaching role personally.
Yeah, I know that he's put some foundations down in Manchester. Like he's got restaurants and things like that. So that might be swaying him to stay for coaching role. I can see him.
Hopefully he does. I'd like him to stay because, like Rez said, he is the perfect pro. He is the guy that just comes in. You don't hear anything from him.
Did he win the league, Chelsea?
Yeah, he won the league, Chelsea. He won Champions League, Chelsea.
He won the Champions League. He's won the World Cup. He's won the Euros, I think.
Yeah, he's won everything. He's won everything there is to win. So to me, you'd keep someone like that around. I'd try my hardest to keep him around.
Player.
But not as a player. But
it showed the sorry state we're in when we're bringing him on last 20 minutes in the fucking Atletico Madrid game. That's where we're at.
Yeah, no, of course. Right, so Mata's coaching role, so we'll keep him in stay, but as coach. So we'll move on to Rashford. I'll give my opinion and I'll see what you guys think of what I say.
Yeah.
I feel Rashford is in a very big danger of becoming another Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
In the sense that I genuinely think if he carries on the way he's going, the fans will start to be like, well, we don't want him.
Well, there are moments of that coming out now,
Because
isn't it?
it's just getting more and more frustrating watching him go down the wing. And it's like, if he can't knock the ball past someone and beat him for pace, that's him done. He's they've sorted him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he does. And he can't cut inside because he just, something's happened to his shooting. I don't know what's happened, but he can't do it. And he can't go on the outside anymore. So
I think he overthinks a lot now. Whereas, like I said about Elanga, like when Rashford first came in, he was so raw. It was all off the cuff. Like he'd do things without thinking about it. Now I think he just thinks a lot, and it just leads him. Like he goes down fucking stupid blind alleys, like where he's going to lose a ball, or he doesn't pass the ball in right situations.
yeah.
I don't know if his football intelligence is that shit or he's just really, really low in confidence. I think it might be a bit of both. I don't think he's that clever of a player. You know what I mean?
Do you think if someone comes in like a Ten Hag, or someone along the lines of a new manager that's very good,
I don't know if
can he be coached? Can this be stopped?
Of course, he can coach him, but I don't know if it's. I never wanted to think it was like all this stuff he does off the pitch that affects him. But I don't know if that is literally affecting him now.
No, I see what you mean.
He's literally going up against the government for fuck's sake, trying to feed kids and all that shit, and then you got to try and concentrate on playing for the biggest club in the world. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things. I wouldn't sell him, but he needs to fucking get his head down.
so I'll put him stay. Rez, what are you thinking?
He's a stay, mate. He's going through a tough time. There's something obviously not right. He had the shoulder surgery. He went to the Euros, didn't play a single fucking minute, waste of time.
Yeah.
And I think obviously that's turned a lot of United fans against him because you're looking at that, like you knew he wasn't going to play. Like, he just wasn't going to play. He should have had the surgery beginning of the summer, not late summer, which delayed then obviously his comeback. We've then signed Sancho, and Elanga's come in and been really good. There's issues with Rashford, obviously, that he's obviously going through some stuff, but he is. Listen, United lack personalities in this team, and United lack good people. We just said about Mata staying around because he's a bloody good human being. Rashford's a wonderful human being. And I know we're talking about from a football perspective here, but ultimately that counts for something as well.
That's what's worrying me with him now, though. Like his attitude seems to be getting worse. Like he doesn't he lose the ball and he's jogging back.
I think. And I
don't know if that's a confidence thing.
I think it's a confidence thing. We've all been there, right? Where your head drops and suddenly everything becomes that much more difficult.
Yeah.
And you want to be anywhere other than where you are at that point in time. I think Rashford's he's not a fantastic footballer. He's a very good footballer. He is the kind of player that you'd love to have on your bench, coming on 60th, 70th minute and affecting a game. We've seen him do it numerous times before. He's got pace. He can finish. He's just a general all-round good person. For me, he's a massive stay, Rashford. I don't care what people say.
I am worried about him.
I would say stay, but like I say, I'm still worried about what basically what previously said.
There's something wrong. We can all see that there's something very, very wrong. I don't know how much. I don't know how much the Mason Greenwood situation has affected the English players, the young English players in our camp. I don't know how close these players were to one another.
They're probably close, but it shouldn't be affecting them that much. I know
because, mate, when you've got Jesse Lingard's your best mate in the team, who's an absolute bloody prat.
Who?
With Jesse Lingard, with the whole Beans fucking video. Do you remember that?
When he was playing well.
And then, obviously, the whole Greenwood situation, the fallout from that.
Is it because he's good friends with Jess? He's good friends with Lingard and Pogba.
Yeah, but when did this Greenwood thing come out? Was it after New Year's?
I can't remember, mate. In all honesty, I
Start
could
of the
swear
year,
it was
wasn't
this
it?
year. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been shit basically all season,
Well,
really, hasn't he?
he'd only just come back from injury, hadn't he? Though,
Yeah,
because
he looked all right when
the
he came
shoulder
back,
surgery.
and then he just
Yeah,
went
listen, there's
downhill.
issues. Whatever they are, I don't think they're talent-ish concerns. They're psychological concerns, which can be overcome.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Rashford's a stay. Cavani, he's gone off.
He's an absolute stay, mate.
Stay.
No. Do you know what? I would have said stay a few months ago, but he's taking the piss.
There's a few things he's done recently I've not liked.
Yeah, the amount of times he's like, "Yeah, I'm fit," and then he's like, the day before going, "Oh no, I can't play." Like, what are you doing? Where is he? Like, I loved it a lot. Like, it's weird because when you watch him on the pitch, he gives like 120%. But as soon as he's like training and like he's always injured and it's always something wrong with him. Like, what? And then they turn up for Uruguay and play, and then they come back and it's like, "Oh, I need 10 days rest or something." Like, what are you doing? You get paid by Man United, not fucking Uruguay.
Yeah, that's the things that's starting to wind me up a lot about him.
Yeah, I think he's taking the piss a bit too much now.
I get what you're saying. His nose has been put out of place, right? He clearly sees that actually, in terms of what he brings to this team, he's better than Ronaldo, right? He's a better modern day striker than Ronaldo. He's not as good a goal scorer. He misses chances, right? It was the same when he was playing for PSG. He wasn't.
Yeah, he always had that. Yeah, he always.
He missed chances.
Mm.
However, he runs, he tracks, he passes well. He's a very, very good footballer. I think his nose has been put out of place because obviously, listen, he was signed. We were desperate to keep him last.
We were always going to sign a striker, though.
And then we go on and start. Yeah, the thing is, I think you accept signing a youngster. What you don't accept signing is someone older than you who does less than you.
But it's Ronaldo, though. It's not like it's just anyone. Like, I get it if it was just anyone, but it's Ronaldo. Like, he's the greatest goal scorer of all time. Like,
I mean, listen, for me, just because he's the best option we have up front right now. However, he is going to go.
Yeah, he'd go, but like I think he's part of the reason why we had such a big goal drought and Ronaldo wasn't scoring because Ronaldo can't. Like, I know his body's like physically unbelievable, but he can't play 2-3 times every 2 weeks. Like, he was playing every game, wasn't he, Ronaldo? And Cavani wasn't there. He had no choice but to play Ronaldo every game. Like, there was games that Ronaldo could have sat on the bench where Cavani came in, like a game against like Watford, something like that, where he drew 0-0. Like, Cavani could have started that game and now could have had a rest or come on if we needed to. Do you know what I mean? I just think he's took the piss a bit too much, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's left a sour taste in my mouth when it's come to him.
That's literally it. But he was going to go anyway this season. He weren't going to stay another year.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to stay another year. But what's put a sour taste in my mouth is that he should be playing for us. He shouldn't be turning around saying he can and can't play. He shouldn't be the one that decides that. If you're getting paid, not only just paid, but paid very nicely. Like, he's not on small amounts, like 300 and something K a week. And he's turning around to the club.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He's turning around and saying, no, I don't want to play.
What was he told in the summer? Because he was going to go in the summer, right? And he was convinced to sign another year. What was he told? Because there's more to this story than meets the eye. I think he was promised some stuff and it hasn't happened, personally, because he's always been, historically, he's always been a fantastic professional, Edson Cavani. I think there were promises made in the summer, and I think that obviously then the whole Ronaldo City thing happened, and I think that's caused a lot of issues. And understandably so. Listen, if you're told something, you sign up for a new job, and you're like, right, this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. You're going to do this. And you're like, yeah, do you know what? That sounds incredible. Do you know what? I'll give you another year. Okay, fine. I'll give you a year. And then literally within a few weeks, it's like, you're signing this guy. What's going on here? And then all of a sudden, all those promises that were made to you are no more. You can't get out your contract then, so you're just have to. Well, I'm going to have to wind it down. I'm going to have to go next year now. and it is going to put your nose out of place. Like honestly, it is. And like I say, I don't know what's going on in this club. The problem I think we have is when Ollie was in charge, everyone was being told what they wanted to hear. I think that's caused a lot of issues with a lot of players because everyone was like, "Oh, you're going to get this. Oh, okay, and then you're going to get this. Oh, but you just told him, yeah, you're both going to get it." It's like, well, we can't both get it. No, but you're both going to get it. Don't worry, you're both going to get it. Oh, you don't want to run? That's fine. Don't run, mate. Don't worry about running, mate. Someone else will run for you. Honestly, like Ollie Solskjaer's fucked this club, this fucking team.
I wouldn't go that far. I can't imagine like he loves it. Ollie loves the club as much as we do. Like he played for the club. I can't imagine.
He's a nice guy though.
I can't imagine him accepting players not working hard though. Because when he first came in.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The stats don't lie, mate.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Don't lie.
But who does he play? Like he has no option to play these players because we've got no one.
We had the worst running stats in the league, mate.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like when he first
defensively,
came in,
we were literally one of the bottom 3 teams in the league.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of personnel, though. I don't think it is a lot of. Obviously, it's down to him as well, but I don't think it was as nice as people try and make it out to be. Do you know what I mean? I think it's somewhere in the middle. Like he was too nice.
I hope so. But anyways, yeah, listen, I think we can say Cavani's going to go, so he's in the go column.
Yeah.
All right, Sam. We'll move on to CR7, Armir's love child, or he wishes. Yeah, Armir has based his life around Cristiano Ronaldo since about 2003. Every single haircut, every single shaving, God knows anything under the eyebrows. Has been
Ronaldo Louis Spence.
Basically, it is. Armir's been like a little Pakistani version of Cristiano Ronaldo. It's basically what he's been. Until
I turned into Drake.
No, Louis, mate, Armin, mate, you're bigging yourself up far too much here, mate. We saw that photo I posted of you looking like Louis Spence.
Which one was that?
The Louis Spence one. You had that coat on, and I posted the photo of Louis Spence in that pink jacket.
Oh, fucking hell.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, how could I forget it? Good comment.
Anyways. Go on then, Army. What, Ronaldo?
Well, he's got to stay, isn't he? I think he's got to stay. What, don't you two agree with me?
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Because the little kid inside me wants him to stay.
At the end of the day, it's going to be
easy.
Like, I want him to stay because I love him, but is he the future of this club going forward?
No, of course not. He's not. But like, he's our top goal scorer. He's got like 18, 19 goals in the shit season, and he didn't score for like 10 games.
I suppose the only thing is it depends on who's going to come in next year.
Today it came out, didn't it, about we want Harry Kane.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Me and Rez were talking about this last night.
It's either him or the Benfica striker. I don't know if you heard of that, Nunes.
Yeah, I know who he is.
I've not seen much of him, to be fair.
I haven't seen much of him, but I've heard of him.
Yeah, apparently he's quite good. But
I've got a feeling that maybe thinking about this overnight, Cristiano Ronaldo stays for another year, and then when his contract finishes next year, then Harry Kane comes in on a free possibility.
No, I think Harry Kane would come.
What, this year?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you transfers afterwards, so we'll stick to the stay and go list for now. So, stay. I'll just ask you yes or no. Stay, yes or no, Army. Ronaldo.
Yeah, stay.
Yeah. Rez?
No.
No? I say I want him to stay, but I don't think he's going to stay.
I don't think he should stay.
I think he's staying.
What does he do? Like, listen. Football's moved on massively, and we talk about Pogba and passengers, right? And needing players around him to facilitate him. Ronaldo's exactly the same. Everyone around him has to work harder because he doesn't. And you can't have that in the Premier League. A Premier League title-winning team is not going to have that. Like, listen, City got rid of Aguero for this exact reason. They let Aguero go for this exact reason. Football's moved on.
But
It has.
don't you think he would score God knows how many goals at City? Don't you
I
think
don't
that?
think he'd play.
Do you not?
No.
Oh, no, I think
They
he
need
does.
it. They need a number 9. Like, I know they won the league without, but you look at that Champions League final, they're crying out for a number 9.
Yeah, there are games where you look at it like bloody hell. If they had a goal
Like,
scorer,
Crystal Palace the other day.
they'd be
Crystal
something
Palace.
mega. However,
They're them games that you need a number 9.
I don't think Pep will. He's not a Pep player, mate. Pep had Ibrahimovic at Barca. And
But
hated him.
Grealish is not a Pep player though.
No, but
Grealish
very
takes up
talented.
too many.
He's a very yeah, but he's a very, very talented young player who Pep probably thinks that he can mould a bit. Listen, Ronaldo doesn't do enough to warrant starting every single game.
Yeah, but this is where we come back to Cavani though. This is where Cavani should be coming in, and Ronaldo should be benched for a game. And
yeah, but then you bench Ronaldo and he goes and throws a hissy fit.
Yeah, but that's Ronaldo. He done that when he was like fucking 20 odd years old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, not at 37 years old. You don't do that. You grow up, you fucking child.
Yeah, but that's the winning mentality in him, and I think that's what we lack.
But me,
He's
a go because he's on a lot of money.
The reason,
but at the same time, I understand why he'd be a play because if Cavani's going, Martial's gone or going, then who are we going to play up front? We'd need to, and obviously Greenwood's gone.
Well, I think as well.
I think that fucked us a lot more than people thought. Like Greenwood going, no, obviously not going.
What
but
happened?
Like,
yeah,
that's fucked us a lot because he was an emerging one.
I think one reason we should keep Ronaldo as well is more for the young players like Elanga, Sancho, getting them to do the right thing.
Ronaldo at a weak
right
mentality
situation.
ones. People don't like Ronaldo in their squad that are the 1-2 a week. Like why they're all coming out and they all seem to be Harry Mcguire and Luke Shaw, players like that.
Oh yeah, mate, that I agree with 100%. And actually, he's showing them up for.
And it's probably a good thing. It's probably going to cleanse our club, if anything, because it's shown who's actually got it and who hasn't.
Mate, there was no one more excited than me. Even you, I don't think. I was so excited, mate. When that was happening, I was sat at work and literally every second I was refreshing. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I was so excited when it was all going down, and then when he signed finally, I was like a kid at Christmas, right? But since then,
let me
start to see why Juve
go through all that again, knowing what he's done this season.
Yeah, I mean, listen, mate, it's been wonderful. It has been wonderful having him back.
I don't know where we would be without him this year. We weren't great in the Champions League.
Not even like if he's not had the greatest of seasons. He's done well. He's not done bad. But like, would you buy him knowing that he would only score 18 goals a season? How we are at the moment, would you still take?
If you'd have told me what everyone else in the squad is doing, then yeah.
No, but I'm just saying.
Can I just say something? I said it earlier.
He could score no goals for us. I still would have taken him just to see him back again.
But can you not see how he's hampered Fernandes this year?
Yes, I guess so. But that's because the Fernandes was a man. I think there's a bit of an ego.
Positions that Fernandes will get. The problem is Ronaldo doesn't do enough to allow other players to take up spaces. So he
does. Ronaldo does
in one place.
He does drop into.
Well, that being said, I mean, he's not a very good ball player, but he's been moving out to the left wing recently, he's actually been better there for what it's worth when he does kind of drift out there. But listen, I can understand why he's a stayer. For what it's worth, with Cavani going, Ronaldo has to stay for another year. Otherwise, we're in a real state unless we get Harry Kane.
I think Harry Kane would come regardless if Ronaldo stays or not. I actually do. I just can see it.
I could see him wanting to work. I could see him wanting to work with Ronaldo for a year. Just
the problem is, how do you sign Harry Kane and a defensive midfielder like we need, a world class one?
But then with Harry Kane only having a year left on his contract, Tottenham can't demand stupid amounts of money for him. because
Is it a year or is
Under
it 2
100
years?
million.
I thought it
It
was
was
2
It-
years.
Harry 100 million.
his contract finishes next year, doesn't it? I swear it's next year.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's not this season, obviously. The end of this season, end of next season. So if that's the case, United could just turn around and go, well, if you want stupid money for him, we'll just get him for free next year. And then we keep Ronaldo for a year. We try and see if we can get a striker on loan or something for a year to go with Ronaldo.
I think it's either going to be him or that Nunes from Benfica. Harry Kane or that kid. That's who our striker's going to be.
Because Ronaldo can't play every single week, which is
That's
clear
what
he
I mean.
can't. So you need
That's what I mean.
someone to be there with him. So you either get the youngster from Benfica and get him to learn from Ronaldo and take a gamble, or you go proven and go Harry Kane.
2024, by the way, guys. Kane.
Oh, okay, so it's 2 years left.
2 years. Yeah,
2
probably.
years after
It'll
the
still
rest
be
of
over.
the season.
Yeah, probably about 100 million.
Yeah. Right, so we'll finish this list off first. So do you reckon this is... The players at the bottom, I'm going to leave them because they're either left or we can't talk about it. So the list is as follows. Going, we've got Henderson, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire, Tuanzebe, Shaw, Matic, Poggi, Lingard, Martial, Cavani.
Yeah.
Anyone in that list you think we should probably keep for another year or see what's going on?
I don't know. I wouldn't keep any of them, to be honest, but I can see Maguire and Shaw staying anyway, so. And Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah,
And Bailly.
But if you look at the people, this is how mad it is. Look at the ones who we picked to stay. How many of
It's
them are
swollen.
started? How many of them
No, this is what I mean. I was going to say when we come to review it, how swollen
It's
the
a
stay
joke.
is because
It's mad, and that's why we're such a state.
Yeah,
Because
right,
you
so,
could pick. Right, go through it, and we say starter or
well, David De Gea,
squad.
obviously
He's
starter.
a starter.
Yeah, Dallow.
He's a squad player.
yeah, you mean as in
As in his quality,
his ability. Yeah.
Are we going as in starting for us at the start of next season, or are we going as in starting to win
I
the
just
league?
mean as in quality, ability. Like if they're
Okay.
starters,
Oh, okay, yeah. So Dallow's squad, Jones squad, Varane starter, Lindelof starter, but in my eyes would be.
He's in between, isn't he? Lindelof's a bit in between.
Yeah. Tellez,
Squad.
He's a squad player.
Williams, squad player.
Squad.
Fred, squad. Scott McTominay,
Should
squad.
be there.
Hannibal is youngster.
Don't know.
He's too young.
Donny van den Beek.
You don't even know what
Don't
he's
know.
looking like.
Pelistri, whatever the fuck his name is.
Don't know.
Garner.
Don't know. He's going to be a.
He's going to be good, but he's a squad player still.
Yeah.
Bruno, obviously, starter.
Yeah.
Ahmad's squad.
Don't know.
Alanga, starter.
That's a squad.
He's probably squad, but he's a bit like Lindelof.
So he's like halfway in between. Sancho, starter.
Yeah.
Mata's just coach. Rashford for me is similar. Squad.
And
then Ronaldo is going to be roughly squad. So realistically, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starters out of the 21 players we've picked to stay.
That's what I mean.
That's the problem.
You need 14 starters at least in a squad, like who can come in and it won't change the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, mate. But that's the thing. So what you need to do this year now, you need to get 3 players at a minimum that are going to be starters. So then it goes from 5 to 8, if you see what I mean. And then what you do then is once you've got the 8, you've then got to get 3 more next year, which will take it to bleeding youngsters that will make it to, once you get to 11, then you've got to be challenging for some form of title or at least top 4. And then after that, you should be realistically at the stage where
they say, isn't it? It's a 3-year plan. That's what they give.
So what we really need to do, we need to get 3 starters in this year. So my question to you two would be, if you're picking 3 starters to come in this year, what 3 starters?
It's got to be Declan Rice.
I say that's got to be a given. That's more important than
Harry
anything.
Kane. And then a right back.
A right
or
back?
a left back. Left back.
I'd say more
left
centre
back.
back.
I'd say actually probably. No, I think Lindelof can do a job with Varane. Honestly, I just think we need to get rid of Maguire. The central midfield, I'd say probably 2 central midfielders actually.
Well, you reckon two starting centre midfielders as well as a striker?
So maybe then a Rice and a Neves or a Tielemans. And then a striker and Harry Kane. That's what I'd go for.
Yeah. Army?
I'm really torn between like Harry Kane and Rice as well. Like for the money they are, like Harry Kane's gonna bang, but for what is he 29, 30?
Yeah.
29 now.
Where it gets like, what are we doing? Because like, how many years has he really got? Do you think?
You'd say realistically 3 to 4.
Yeah, I'd say 4 at most. At the top level, he's going to be scoring. I don't think he's going to be like a Ronaldo type or a Lewandowski.
Having him though would be brilliant for what Rez was saying about Bruno, because he will drop and he'll bring Bruno more into play, and then Bruno gets more into play. And
You're right. I can't see Rice a 100 million player. I really can't. I think you can get such a better midfield for that value of money. I'll take Tielemans and Neves over Rice.
Yeah, you could get them both for the price of Rice.
Well, it's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
Because I think Tielemans ain't signing a new deal, and I think he's got 1 year left on his contract. I don't think Neves is going to cost that much. I don't know. Rice is a decent player, but 100 million is a hard one. We definitely need a striker, and we definitely need a midfielder.
I'll tell you the ideal would be. It would be probably maybe Neves and Bellingham. Or Rice.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Rice and Bellingham would be unbelievable.
We fucking have to knock down Old Trafford for that.
It's fine, mate. I'm happy to play at Southwick.
To be fair, there's not that much difference. Fucking ground's a state.
Are you going to get onto that as well? About the talk about it knocking it down?
I haven't looked much into
what else
it.
they can do.
Yeah.
I did see that there were talks. Do you remember we discussed it before, right? About, because obviously the South Stand is smaller than all the others because of the train tracks behind it. So they were talking about having it bridge the train tracks, but then I'm like, but behind the train tracks is houses.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So unless they're going to buy
some
everyone
poor
out
bloke
of their homes,
opens his back window. What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
some stadium in his face.
So I can't see how they can possibly
there must be
on without knocking it down. You can move it. There's enough space around it, right? You can move it and rearrange the roads and everything. That's easily done. Plenty of space around it.
Really don't want them to knock it down. Because I don't want.
I get it, because sentimentally, mate, like the history in that ground, what you lose is huge. However,
go to a new stadium, yeah, and you're sitting there. There's nothing there that you can't think. Oh, so and so played here. Right, you can't say George Best played here.
Mate, I agree. I know exactly what you're saying. It's a really difficult situation, isn't it? Because ultimately, the thing is, though, without knocking it down, I can't see what they can do because the stadium's so outdated. And it's really difficult to bring it up to date in the current framework that it has. Like, the roof is shit. The seats are terrible. Even the concourse or even the stairs, it's all awful. It's all really bad. Like, people nowadays should not have to walk 17 million flights of stairs to get up to the top of your stand.
Yeah,
it's not okay.
They modernise it a bit more, but I don't want to knock it down. Surely he can modernise it. Liverpool did it. There was houses at the back of their stand because they were going to move stadium, weren't they?
They were, yeah.
And then they built that new stand. Well, they built on top of the new stand, a new like the old stand. But there was houses behind.
It's not just that, though, is it? It's not just the capacity, because obviously you're looking at it from a pure capacity standpoint. Yeah, just adding on to the South Stand, adding an extra tier.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done. They've just left it. Like, because I think I put in a group chat, like, before the Glazers came, them quadrants that have been built, they were that was put in place way before the Glazers were taken over. Because I think it was like a year or two after they took over, they started building it, didn't they?
I'm not too sure, honestly. I get very hasty when it comes to that and they take over.
Yeah,
I
think
couldn't
like
remember what year it was.
2005, I think it was.
Yeah, I thought it was around about then.
If football sentimental, it has to be. It's nothing. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason why we all love Man United. It's not just because they win trophies. It's just sentimental. I just don't want to be a soulless bolt. Like, look at Arsenal. I know Highbury was fucking tiny, but at least it had something there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean, Mish.
We'll see.
But we'll see. So yeah, that pretty much covers everything, I think. Unless you guys want to have a quick chat about the manager.
What the future? Who? Yeah, actually, do you know what? Let's cover it.
Who do you guys want as the next manager?
He's going first.
You can go first if you want, Mish.
I'll take Ten Hag. I personally think Pochettino's outdated now. That's what I personally think that. I think the time to get him was after he left Spurs.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that when he left Spurs? Like 4 years ago now?
Roughly.
Yeah, and he was out of the job for a couple of years. He took the PSG job last season, or start of like midway through last season.
Yeah.
He can barely win the fucking French league. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't even win the French league last season. He can barely. He's dropping so many points this year. I really don't want him. Ten Hag,
I said that.
I think Ten Hag will lay a lot of foundations in the club, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Ten Hag. But there's talk of Paul Mitchell coming in, isn't there? I don't know if you've heard of him as a sporting director.
Is he the one? He's not the one that's Liverpool, is it?
No, he was at Monaco, Leipzig. He was at Tottenham, I think, for a bit when Pochettino was there. He's a Man United fan. He's born in Manchester, but he's like one of the best sporting directors. But that's what we need, though. We need football people. Woodward's gone now. We're just hopeful that Richard Arnold that's coming is actually a football person and makes football decisions rather than business decisions.
Yeah.
Because it does start from the top, and it trickles down.
No, I do see what you mean. Rez, what you saying, mate?
I mean, like we said last night, I think Nagelsmann would be the absolute ideal, but he's already said no. Tuchel would be good, but again, seems like he said no. So then it comes down to, I mean, Luis Enrique would be good. He'd be very good.
He'd be a good man. All I'm worried about is it being a quick fix, and nothing gets sorted, like we saw with Van Gaal and Mourinho.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
We're stuck because like
my concern with Ten Hag, I said this to you last night, Tan. I think he'll be good. For what it's worth, I do think he'll be good. However, he's at a club where, from the time their players get off their mama's tits, they're playing a certain style of football, right? They're raised to play a certain style of football, total football, right? All the way through. Now, I know that he's moved away from the 4-3-3 slightly, hasn't he? And I think there was a lot of people who were like, oh, hang on a second. However, he knows what he's going to get when the players come through the academy because it's already set, right? The players that he has know what he's going to play and they know that style of play. With United, he's going to come in and I mean, some of these players, Amir, you've said it before, they're not coachable.
Yeah.
Right. So that means that he's going to have to get rid of a lot of deadwood, a lot.
Whoever's in charge is going to have to do that anyway.
Yeah, true. The advantage is, obviously, the youth teams can then start to be moulded, and obviously younger players are easier to mould. And we've got quite a lot of talented youth.
Yeah, there is.
Which is positive. But my worry with Ten Hag is just that Ajax is an institution like Barcelona, right? They come through the academy playing a certain style of football, and generally Ajax don't tend to sign many players. They create players, right? United is going to be different. Going to have to buy a lot and create a lot. Can he buy? Is my biggest concern. Because what we don't want to do is just basically become Ajax 2.0. Because as good as they are, they don't win anything other than the Eredivisie, right?
They done well.
They
Oh
did
well,
win-
I was going to say they done well in the Champions League. Though. I think they won every game, but then they got knocked out by Benfica.
Yeah.
That was
Obviously,
the thing. I was
2019
surprised.
was it the semi-final?
Yeah, they got knocked out by
It's like
Spurs.
3 years.
Yeah,
3
Tottenham.
years ago.
Was he
now.
the manager then?
He was, yeah. He's been the
Yeah.
manager since 2017.
Yeah.
So that's my worry. Listen, we'd have to accept some short to mid-term pain if we went for someone like Ten Hag.
That's what. Yeah, but that's what I want.
You're talking
You
like
want
3
foundations
years.
to be laid.
Yeah, and I agree. And for what
That's
it's worth,
the
I think that for that he'd be the best man. I don't think Poch would be the right man. I think that Poch would be in 3-4 years and he'd go again.
I don't think he'd last that long.
I don't think he'd last that long. Yeah, I think he'd get to the end of next season.
I think it'd be the same with
that.
even Luis Enrique. Like he's a quality manager, but I don't think I don't think even if he'd done well, I don't think he'd stay long anyway. And I don't want that. Like I want someone to lay foundations because that's what's lacking at the club. Remember when we don't remember because we weren't born, but like when Fergie first came, like there's so much wrong with the club. Like there's now, it's really similar. Like gone so many years without a title, and he had to change a lot of the what's the word?
Habits,
a lot of the
cultures.
The structure.
Yeah, the culture. Yeah, the culture.
The
You had to change a lot of the
structure.
culture. There's a lot of drinking culture, and you had to get rid of a lot of players, and then build from there. And it took him a while, but obviously, I'm not saying he's going to be next Ferguson. I think far from it. But I'm just saying we need that. We need someone to build foundations rather than to come in, buy a load of players, and then if it don't work, then we're fucking round in circles again. I'd rather, like you said, I'd rather go for short-term pain for long-term gain. Because we've got 8 years out of title already, 9 years out of title. So what's another few years? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree, and I think that for that, it's got to be Ten Hag. I can't really see who else other than Tuchel, maybe, but obviously you say he's not going to come by the looks of it. So Ten Hag it is, and it sounds like it's almost a done deal anyway.
Well,
have you seen that Van Gaal said?
Yeah. I love that because he's fucking showing the club for what it is.
Yeah,
it's a shit show. It is a commercial club. That's what we were, and that's what we need to get away from.
Yeah, that was Ed Woodward.
That's what Woodward made us.
Yeah,
literally, that's what Woodward made us.
Yeah,
I despise Ed Woodward.
That's why I'm hoping this new bloke, is a football bloke, this Richard Arnold, who's took over. That's all I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I mean,
we need footballing people in positions.
We do, but we don't need the likes of Darren fucking Fletcher. And this is what's annoying as well. Like the whole the old boys club, it pisses me off so much.
I think it's just finding a balance, isn't there? It's like you've got to have that, and then you've got to step away from it as well. If you know what I mean, there's got to be a balance to it. You can't be all
you need people that know the club.
Yeah,
but you've still got people that know the club. That's why, like, obviously, we've gone through it here, right? You've got the likes of Phil Jones as a stay in our list because of that very reason. But what you don't want to do is just get everyone. Oh, Michael Carrick, we'll get Michael Carrick in.
You've got to find a middle ground.
Because you know for a fact that Giggs would be involved in some way if he wasn't such an arsehole off the pitch. Darren Fletcher, mate. Darren fucking Fletcher. I hate Darren Fletcher. I hated Darren Fletcher when he used to play for us. Awful footballer. Terrible fucking footballer. And now... Yeah, of course you would. It's you, isn't it? What is he? Is he sporting director or director of football?
I do achieve when Ragnick came out. He's like, I don't even know what he does. He doesn't know
it's a joke, mate. Like, it's an absolute joke. And then, did you hear that apparently Fergie said Carlo Ancelotti should be the guy that we go for.
Yeah,
Mate, if that's true, come on, Fergie, mate, you've got to shut the fuck up.
I don't know what it is, but do you know how? I don't know if you've watched a lot of the old history of when Sir Matt Busby retired. Like, he was making these decisions, telling the club who to get, and that's why we're going through a bad period of not winning titles, because we weren't getting the right people. He's picking people he knew. Do you know what I mean? And it's so similar with
Because it
Ferguson.
becomes it's the old boys club, and it's like, oh well,
Yeah.
I picked my mate. It's why we end up with Moyes, right? First, and that kicked off this entire shit show, all because they allowed Ferguson too much power at that point. What they should have done is gone, right, okay, we're going in a different direction now. Moyes was never similar to Ferguson anyway, but they let him pick him out. Oh, it's my Scottish mate.
I don't think we were never prepared for him to retire, because I don't think anyone saw him retiring that season. I don't think he would have done if it weren't for his wife's sister or something got ill, something like that.
Yeah.
Why he retired.
She died.
He missed out on Klopp and Guardiola at that point.
Yeah, he said he met Guardiola, didn't he? He said, if you get back into management, let me know. And he's like, yeah. And he went to Bayern Munich.
Well, no, because he was on the sabbatical, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was having a year off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It does start. It is from the top. Everything has to start from the top. So that's why I'm just hoping. If Ten Hag comes in, there's football people making decisions. Because it's the point is being Ten Hag in if there's no football people. Because it'd just be like how it's always been since Fergie retired.
Yeah. I think that does this one, boys. I think we're just going to end up waffling on otherwise about nothing.
There's no waffle when it comes to United.
Fucking days.
we seem to just keep saying the same stuff over and over, though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So I think we should end the episode there. Thank you very much for coming on, Army, and joining us on the Stay and Go list. I think we've got quite a good list. Thank you. Well, with a few debates going on between them, but relatively.
I'll tell you what I'd say. One thing I would say is that's a very sorry list.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about it. That's literally the worst thing about it. That we went through it and there was only 4 or 5 we could say were starters.
Sorry, state of affairs, but hopefully.
But there we go.
Soon.
Anyway,
all right.
So thank you very much for listening to the Box2Box podcast. We'll be back next week with the usual podcast in reviewing the weekend games. If you want to, like to follow us on any of our socials, please do. I've uploaded all of our episodes to YouTube as well now, so you should be up to date on YouTube if you listen on there. We'll get this one up probably tomorrow, hopefully. If not, maybe the day after at the latest. And I'll upload them to both YouTube and to Spotify if anyone listens on either of those. If you'd like to be in the podcast, as always, just give us a message on any of our socials or get in contact with any of us directly, and we'll be more than happy to put you on. Well, thank you very much for listening, and we'll speak to you next time.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Cheers.